Good day, class. Hi, my name is Roy Mulchand, and I'm here to start Team Blue's presentation. So first of all, I want to say hello, digital transformation classmates and Dr. Himani Sharma. We're Team Blue. We're talking about understanding the dynamics of virtual collaboration and knowledge sharing, and we're talking about Microsoft Teams and Slack, which is a Salesforce program, as a knowledge management system. We have 6 different features, 6 different people on our team, really, really amazing people. I'll start off, I'm doing the introduction. My name is Roy Mulchand. I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I currently am the head of cybersecurity for the Department of National Defense Central Region. Fun fact about myself, I got a chance to see 2 rocket launches actually this year. One for the Cosmos Italian Space Center, or space team, and one for SpaceX for Elon Musk. And I've been playing ice hockey for over 37 years. So let me pass this over to Ms. Mackenzie Nickel to talk about, to bring up her introduction.
Hello, I'm Mackenzie. I currently live in Vancouver, BC. I'm the coordinator of the MBA program at Simon Fraser University right now. Fun fact about me, I'm a huge Formula One fan, and I actually got the opportunity to see the race in Montreal this last year, which was really cool. So I'm now going to pass it to Dio to introduce himself.
Hey, thank you so much, Mackenzie. My name is Oladayo Moyemi, and currently I live in Halifax in Nova Scotia, here in Canada. And right now I'm a senior analyst for the Cisco Group Limited. The company is into hedge funds management, actually. And the fun fact about me is I love the game of football, which in this part of the world is called soccer. And I also love the movie series called Chicago Med because I love medicine, although I'm not into medicine, but I'm a fan of medicine. So I'll be passing this on to Winnie to continue.
Thank you so much, Dio. Hi, my name is Winifred O'Connell, and currently I am a PMO analyst at Air Canada. Yes. And fun fact about me is I have been into business since I was little. I am also a fashion designer, and I wake up every day with a new business idea. I will be passing it over to Karuna for an introduction.
Thank you, Winnie. Hello, my name is Karuna. I currently reside in Vancouver. I love traveling to new places, especially going hike. And professionally, I work at West Coast Senior Housing Management as a portfolio clerk. Yeah, now I will pass it to David. Thank you.
Thank you, Karuna. My name is David. I live in Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada here. I work with Export Development Canada as an underwriter. And fun facts about me, similar to Dio, I love soccer. I love playing soccer. I'm not competitive anymore, even though I wish I had played competitive soccer. And so that's all about me. And I'll pass it on to Roy now so we can start the presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, David. So for the introduction, we're talking about Air France KLM Group. It's a result of the merger of 2 massive and very old airlines in Europe. Now, when we have companies like this old, this big, there's obviously going to be clash with culture and traditions, and these have to be rectified to increase the effectiveness of the merger. So even Air France KLM Group themselves have identified that the intercompany communication is the heart of this being a successful merger. And they're looking for an online, real-time, recordable communication method. And that's the purpose of this report, right? We're taking a look at 2 distinct products, Microsoft Teams and Salesforce's Slack, right? And see how they're going to benefit the airline, mainly for onboarding, keeping work from home staff included in day-to-day operations and actually feeling like they're part of the team. And thirdly, right, to enable counter and gate staff to communicate with ground crews. So the 2 products we're talking about, Microsoft Teams, it's a video, a chat, and a file sharing. It's very secure. Actually, we use it at the Department of National Defense and the Canadian Armed Forces. It's the only video chat that's available for protected data sharing. And it's very well connected with Microsoft Office and OneDrive. Now, Slack, on the other hand, is a low-cost communication. By low cost, I mean it doesn't take a lot of bandwidth. So this can be used out on the ramp. It can be used in different countries. It can be used where a lot of bandwidth is available. So it's mainly for chat and file sharing. It's extremely user-friendly. New people can use it very quickly. And again, like I said, it's not overkill for the intended purposes. So to take us into the background of our presentation, I'd like to bring up, again, Ms. Mackenzie Nickel. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy. So some background on the company. It's a massive company with 82,000 employees. That includes 49,000 ground staff, 24,000 cabin crew, and about 9,000 deck crew. So that's a lot of people in a lot of places that need to communicate. Their main revenue avenues are cargo transport, passenger transport, and then aeronautical maintenance. They offer flights to over 250 destinations with a fleet of 554 aircraft, and they have flown over 104 million passengers per year. It's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of in and out. They have partner airlines with Delta Airlines and then Alitalia. They place a strong emphasis on competitiveness and the modernization of their workforce. So they're always trying to be ahead with the digital transformation and ensuring they're using the latest and greatest tech. Between the large number of employees, flights, airport locations, communication is absolutely integral to make the operation smooth. As Roy mentioned, they underwent a merger with KLM Group, which merged two of Europe's oldest airlines. This created an entirely new business structure and model and did create some turbulence between the companies due to cultural differences. So KLM is a Dutch company, and then Air France is a French company. So processes such as onboarding needed to be improved, acquired employees needed to understand the new values of the company and their roles within the company. Further, the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in new workplace arrangements. So lots of employees were offered the option to work from home. So Air France needs to find ways to keep their employees engaged and onboarded within this new work environment. So I will now pass it off to Dio, who's going to go over our case evaluation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mackenzie. I'll be speaking on the evaluation of this topic. The size of the new Air France KLM group required a more efficient means of communication. As Slack and Teams are the two foremost applications, there was the need to compare both. Considering that the airline industry is a very busy one, end-to-end interaction without inhibition is a key requirement. The lockdowns during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic changed the way businesses operate, as many were exposed to new ways of doing business. The airline industry, which equally was affected, has benefited largely from the exposure to these new ways. The areas where both Slack and Teams have been tested in organizations include IT controls and compliance, channels and meetings, messaging and chats, as well as the workspace integration. Microsoft Teams has more ISO certification than Slack, and the interface with Skype is seamless with Teams. Teams also has default email integration with dedicated email addresses for each channels, unlike Slack. Because Teams is a Microsoft application, it has an edge over Slack, with integration to Microsoft Suite applications made easy. I would now like to pass on the baton to Winnie.
Thank you so much, Dio. Hi, I will be speaking about the features of Microsoft Teams and Slack. Microsoft Teams has features such as channels, chat function, document storage in SharePoint, online video calling and screen sharing, online meetings, and audio conferences. Slack, on the other hand, has features such as creating channels, adding people to the channels, privatizing channels, checking team availability, voice and video calls, and also application integration. I will now pass it over to Karuna.
Thank you, Winnie. I will be discussing about the solution part. So the best way for Air France to move forward is using both Slack and Team. So first, why Slack? According to the case study, one of the main process that needed restructuring during merger was onboarding process. And Slack has proven to be a very effective tool for new hires. So how do Slack help on onboarding process? First, it gives a new hire a friendly welcome. Slack channel gathers people across the organization, helping coworkers get to know each other. And by launching a new hire channel, Air France can create a welcoming environment where new employee can introduce themselves. Secondly, it provides secure access to organizational tool and services through access management process like single sign-on to software, applications, and secure access and authentication. Thirdly, it helps to understand project and process with searchable docs. Instead of starting the first day with an empty inbox, Slack helps new hire browse the required information through file sharing system like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. Fourthly, it helps to check payroll benefits and request time off by connecting to a Slack workspace like ADP. Now let's talk about the usefulness of Teams for Air France. Teams can be very effective tool to deal with the communication issue faced by Air France during remote work or general communication issues among the team member. For Air France employees doing work remotely, team offer a great instant messaging tool and video call options and opportunity to create group with where employee can chat as a group. It makes team collaboration fun and efficient through file sharing, chatting, and funny meme sharing. Teams integration with Microsoft Suite makes life much easier for the user, and as required, many apps can be integrated with Teams. So, and however, best way to move forward for Air France is using both Slack and Team, as both are industry leading communication tool. Slack is better in some contexts, while Team is better in others. Proper guidance should be laid out to ensure that employees know which messaging tool to use in different contexts. For example, new employee could be reminded to use Slack more for learning and onboarding purposes, while existing employee could be reminded to use Team to collaborate with colleagues. Therefore, depending on the other needs, the company should lay out the direction on the uses of one app versus another. And for next part of our presentation, David will continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karuna. You've broken down everything, and here's it just to give our recommendation. What do we advise? What do we think Air France should do? Now, we've learned that both are industry-leading communication tools, and they both have their strong point. So now we've seen that Slack can be used for learning and onboarding purposes, why teams can collaborate with colleagues, and this is much more easier to. I mean, it's easier because Teams is owned by Microsoft and Slack is owned by Salesforce, so they give their strong point to each of their each of their softwares. So that being said, it is recommended that Air France KLM Group use both Slack and Microsoft Teams as their knowledge management system due to constant changing nature of the airline to overcome some of the challenges of their employee communication, alignment, and change management. That being said, both almost do the same. They both almost do the same thing, but one is more better than the other. So, like Karuna mentioned, key things, just two key things I would want to stress here for us. Slack best for learning and onboarding, and Teams used to collaborate with colleagues within the organization. Like I said earlier on, I believe every organization is to provide the best customer service and while making sure that employees are also happy and make use the system they use is user friendly, and I believe both are user friendly as well, depending on what is convenient for each of the employees. So I would say that the proper guidance should be laid down for employees to manage both of the softwares. Thank you so much. I'm gonna stop here, and we've decided as a team that Air France should use both Slack and Team software. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation.